Okay, so today I'm gonna be giving 5 more art tips to beginner artists. These are tips I wish I knew when I was just starting out, which could have helped me to better improve my art, or at the very least have a better mental perception of myself and my work. So if you're a beginner artist, stick around because there will definitely be something here for you. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so tip number 1, and we're starting off really strong here, and that has to do with the power of post-production. This is an important part of the art process that I've learned a bit late in my time as a digital artist. For those who don't know, post-production in simple terms is the act of further enhancing your art with adjustments such as tonal correction, lighting enhancements, adding textures, etc. Because at this point, you're simply now just adding the finishing touches, that of which can make your art have that extra flair to it, which can truly be anything as it depends on the artist. It could be that of simply changing your line art's color to that of which is more fitting for your piece. Post-production usually happens at the end of the creative process, after the art has already been made, and it really varies based on the artist or person because not all of us want the same finishing look for our art. So I won't be able to necessarily give you the fine details to the process because that is completely up to you as the artist to decide, but if you use an art program like Clip Studio Paint and Photoshop, don't be afraid to mess with the different blend modes and color profiles and saturations. And if you guys want to get more details about my post-production process, then let me know. I plan to make a full detailed explanation about how I personally approach drawing, the pens and brushes I use, etc. I'll more likely be posting that on Patreon, so check that out along with other goodies linked in the description. Post-production can save lives. I can attest to that personally as it has helped me many times, especially when it came to color adjustments. But be careful how you use it, as you really don't want to rely on it too much, but instead improve your art skills so your art doesn't always have to hide behind enhancements. So think of it as a tool you can use to fix inconsistencies in your work, wherever they might be. Alright, so tip number 2, walk before you can run, sketch before you can draw. A lot of times we as beginner artists jump straight into the drawing aspect of creating art, not knowing that just drawing is closer to the final phase of the process, completely ignoring the vital planning and testing needed to create good art. By which is completely fine if you're not seeking to improve at art and just only looking at it as just a means of fun or expression. But even then, at times jumping into creating a drawing straight up without a sketch or any real planning doesn't leave you enough room for error, which causes you to feel frustrated when the drawing doesn't look the way you want it to. And I'm not saying just learning how to sketch or planning your drawings will guarantee your art to be perfect and just the way you want it to be. You'll have to put in a lot of work to get the results you want. But at the very least, you are giving your art a way higher chance at success when you learn the importance of sketching and planning, especially when you start involving characters in your work. Then at which the poses you would like to make for your characters, for example, might at times be difficult to achieve, but can be easier if you take the time to understand and plan the way you want the characters to look and interact in your drawing. By the way, if you really want to know the one trick to drawing dynamic poses, then check out this video where I talked about gesture drawing and its importance in drawing better character poses. But apart from that, your best approach you should take to drawing is to first plan what you want to do through effective means of perhaps worded themes or descriptions, or maybe that of a little doodle showing the concept. Then you can get to sketching out that idea and then refining it instead of jumping straight into the drawing phase. A lot of professionals do this, and this helps for their drawings to have the highest potential of being perfect. And don't worry, you'll get better in due time. And the better you become, you'll find yourself being able to skip certain steps and be able to jump straight into drawing with just a thought or an idea and still yield good results. For me personally, learning how to sketch made me a better artist instantly, and that's where I think my skills really started to develop into what they are today. So truly, this segment is just so any beginners watching this know it's okay to sketch first then draw over it later. The entire planning phase thing is just a little extra bonus I thought might be important to add. So don't really pressure yourself too much, just make sure you give your art the highest chance to be the best version of itself by applying sketching to your digital process. And sketches can range from very ugly and very rough to very detailed and beautiful, almost that of a finished drawing. And I know we all must have seen that one artist who had a fully finished drawing only to find out that they are calling it a sketch. And if you so happen to be one of those artists who are watching this video, then, put up them dukes, bro, because we have out a box, bro. Like, what do you mean that's only just a sketch? Like, okay, so tip number 3, too many brushes, too many problems. I know we all have our guilty pleasures of brush hoarding, I am also guilty of this, as I've had way too many brushes thinking that they would somehow magically make me a better artist, only to find out that the brushes don't make the art, but instead, the artist makes the art. Obvious, I know. The skills that they possess is what allows them to create the amazing art that they make. The brush is just a tool. Think of it as a medium of communication for the artist and their canvas. So as a beginner, we hoard all these brushes thinking that we're now going to achieve the skills of our favorite artists, only to find out that it's the way the brush is used, not so much the brush itself. So it's very important you narrow down all those brushes and pens you've collected to the ones that are most important to you and your creative process, and ignore all the other ones that aren't so much of importance right now. Most of the times, your favorite artist is just using the free basic brush that comes along with the art program that they use, perhaps with minor tweaks to make it more fitting to them and their creative process. So don't stress over brushes so much, but instead focus on improving your skills so that you can use these tools to their fullest potential. The same can be said for the program you use or the tablet you use, as it's proven many times that you can even use Microsoft Paint with a mouse to create really amazing art, which really puts the saying, "Where there's a will, there's a way," more into perspective. So don't get me wrong, some programs have their benefits over others, and the same can be said about tablets, papers, pens, and pencils, but at the end of the day, they're all just tools. Your skills are more important. So basically, it makes no sense buying a motorcycle when you can't even ride a bicycle. So focus on refining your skills instead of feeding into the false reality of becoming a better artist that brush hoarding gives you. Alright, so tip number 4. And man, I gotta say, if you made it this far into the video, then thank you. It means a lot to me that you took the time out to watch this far. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on post notifications, as I plan to make more videos like this along with many others. Also, comment down below any cool tips you probably heard that helped you to be a better artist, or even just a better person at life, as the life you live can sometimes reflect in the art you create. So let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, so really, tip number 4, learn to trust the process. Now this is one that is easier said than done, because to trust in something, especially when you don't know what the end result might be, can be intimidating, and even I still suffer through times of not trusting the process. But I've come to understand many artists feel this way, even more experienced professionals, because even though you might have the process in which you create down to a T, if you make art that differentiates from each other from time to time, it's only fair that a few times you're going to have that one drawing where you don't quite know how it's going to turn out. Maybe you're coming out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I've learned to accept that, because most of the times when you try something new or apply yourself to your work, the results can be very rewarding, almost as if you're drawing for the first time as a child. And sometimes it allows you to be able to learn from the experience. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be drawings that you don't see the point in finishing, as maybe the project can be a bit daunting or just all around stressful. And even though I encourage you to finish it because there might be some aspects you can learn from, I still understand if you just have to throw it away because it's just not working out. It's a part of the art game that we all chose to play. After all, not everything is going to work out the way you want it to. But how will we know what's at the end of the road, where as the first speed bump we encounter causes us to give up? That's kinda deep. Maybe I'm onto something. The point is, trust the process more. And if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. It's just how it is. And by the way, this is mainly art advice. Take this outside of art at your own risk. Alright, so last tip for this video, which is, you might think you're a failure, but you haven't even begun to fail yet. This is something I have to constantly remind myself about, time and time again. As at times when I don't get the results I want, I consider myself an utter failure, not even worthy of the air I breathe. Ouch. But then I'm reminded that if the professionals who have been drawing for 10 to 50 years of their life was to worry about every single failure that they made artistically, then they would simply not be where they are today. So simply put, you are going to have a lot more, and I quote, trash drawings, a lot more, and I quote, bad art or overall failures in your art career, but they add up into making you a better artist. Because in case you don't know, your favorite artist probably has hundreds, if not thousands, of failed drawings that you will never see, as all those failures add up as the base of this large mountain of success that they have built with amazing art which you've probably seen on their social media, which is probably the reason why they are your favorite artists to begin with. So, as the words of the greatest shooter in the NBA once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but if you want to shoot like me, be prepared to miss as much as me, as I have missed easily over 10,000 shots when I was younger and way more as I grew in my career. Steph Curry. Probably. I'm pretty sure he said that in an interview, I just can't find the video that he said it. So accept that as a part of the art journey. Failure is a must, but as long as you learn from it, then have you truly failed? Think about that for a little bit. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Check out one of the many other videos I have on this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment what you thought about the video. And as always, happy drawing. I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you. Peace.